Hello, YouTube world. My name is Anthony Long. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Picker Channel. You can't. Why? I'm sure glad you did. Hey, Tracy. How's it going? Missed you guys being on live. It's weird what you get used to. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it's amazing what I'm so good at focusing on things, and I'm so bad at staying focused on them. I love doing so many things that I think that's I think that's everybody's problem. You know, it's a balance. It's like I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing what I do and throwing kids in there. Like, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how anybody with kids resells and does YouTube at the same time. Like, what? I have 2 dogs and it's hard. I don't. sun refused to shine, I was still in mountains to see, baby. There would still be you and me. He's so hard to play. Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page and Zeppelin. I think they had to sell their soul to the devil. And when they ask him that, they always go, they just kind of let it go. Yeah, I love it. I wish I could play it better. I don't give it justice. It was my favorite. It was me and my last girlfriend's song too. But yeah, it's underrated. I'm glad it's underrated. Some of the best songs were underrated. Thank God. I remember watched this really cool thing on Pearl Jam, and a lot of those grunge guys, alternative guys, that was their thing, and punk too. That was their thing, was being like not like all these poppy bands, not like heavy metal. They wanted to be their own thing, and so it was really hard for them when everybody started liking them. They didn't want to be liked, And Eddie Vedder, Jeremy got so huge. Even Flow, I think, was it Even Flow first? And then Pearl Jam, Jeremy just got so huge. It was ridiculous. They couldn't get themselves off of MTV. And he said he was surfing one day, and he asked the record company, just do me one favor. Do not release Black as a single. Don't do it. Don't release Black. And he was so scared. He had someone watching out all the time, making sure they didn't do that. And because he wanted to be outside doing things all the time, so he's a surfer and stuff. He moved up from California to Oregon or Seattle. Anyway, he said one day he was surfing and it was all quiet out there, and he could hear people singing Black. He was out on the surf, and so they were out on the beach, and he's over a hill, and he could hear him. He's like, he was so mad. He's like, they released it. They released it. And he swam in, went back, and found out that his CD was so popular that everybody that got the CD loved Black and loved it so much. And so it was kind of it was the day that he kind of realized how big he was, kind of deal, And me and my friends, when we were kids, we loved Black. That was our favorite song. And come to find out, Black is about his ex-girlfriend, and it's his precious. It's his precious song that's his, and he did not want it to be. It's almost like he didn't want it to be misunderstood. If that makes any sense. Yeah, that was my little rock tip for the day. Rock history for the day. Isn't that funny? Hey Jen, how's it going? I just stopped in and I was practicing guitar and mandolin anyway. I figured I might as well come on for a minute. Harry does Saturday morning. I'd kind of do Sunday morning sometimes. It'll change whenever the garage sales start coming in, and then I'll do Saturday afternoons. Let Harry do his Saturday mornings before he goes out, and I'll do Saturday afternoons. I'm coming back from garage sales, unless I'm working mowing, because freaking the first 2 months for me is just work when you can, because you're trying to push it in between rain, and you're glad it's raining, but then you can't work, so it's kind of tough. But yeah, facts. That's why most of those guys, if you hear the Aerosmith story, wow, they just their record company screwed them. If you and you hear about Elvis, yeah, made a ton of money, but dude, the guy that he got so screwed. Same with the Beatles. Like, I'm sure everybody's heard about like I don't know. You remember the song Ebony and Ivory? No, it was actually another one. There was another one that Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson collaborated on. Say you, say me, say no. It was I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, they were collaborating together. And Paul McCartney goes, Michael, with all the money you got, you know what you need to do? You need to buy the rights to songs themselves. That's what you need to do. And he was like, really? He's like, yeah. And he was talking about how he likes it. He can collect the works. It's like a collection. And then he gets to release it when he wants. And he goes, well, I'm going to buy yours. And Paul McCartney gets like, oh, that's pretty good. And then like a week later, he bought the entire Beatles collection because the Beatles didn't have rights of their own songs. The guy that first did their manager or whoever it was took it. And so just crazy. And that's why, back in the late 80s, you started seeing commercials with Beatles stuff all the time because Michael Jackson was, paid a lot of money for it. He needed to get some money out of it, I guess, too. But I can't remember who bought the rights back. It's just weird to think you buy the rights to a song. It's weird, but I can see why you do it too. It's like the whole Pink Floyd thing. That story is crazy. Everybody thinks every musician was like, I'd like to get as big as Pink Floyd. They hate each other. It didn't end well. I don't know, they like it because of the money they make from it, but it was not like a good experience. You know what I mean? And then, as much as I love David Gilmour, I don't know. That was a whole big deal. Roger Waters was mad because they took his band and made it their own, and they were playing 60,000 stadiums, and Roger Waters was playing 6,000. But he left the band. It was his own doing, and it wasn't their fault. He wrote most of the songs, but it sucked to be Roger Waters. All the songs you wrote is making a ton of money next door, and you're having to come up with new stuff. It's just weird to think about. It's like a group like Rush, so rare that they were so awesome early, always stayed pretty good. Their last couple albums were not so much, but they were always a good band. They like each other till the end. They were so cool with each other. That's so rare. It's so rare. I love the guitarist on there. I can't wait. I got my new record player, getting ready to install it all up. I got it already and can't wait to bust open some new vinyl. I got some really good stuff from Who's Tom Cruise. So I can't wait to play it. He's got the best vinyl. He bought out a record store, so a lot of it's never even been played. So that's pretty exciting. Maybe Tracy knows something about this. Where'd I put it? Well, I bought these vintage buttons, just a big bulk buy for $10. I figured, God, it's gotta be worth more than $10. I can park this out. Who knows what might be in here? But there's a lot of them that have it's like a quarter of them have the 2-hole, and then there's just random various ones. But I've just been counting them out to 100 and making lots of them. Figure out some for $5 or $10 a piece. See if they sell, and if they don't, whatever. I like buying those lots and then piecing them out. There was one Brian had not too long ago. That was a good one. It was a button one, but I just spent like $500 for that week. I couldn't spend any more. It would have been a good one because it was like $200, and I bet you part it out. It might take 6 months to sell 75% of them, but you were going to make 1,000 on that 200. Yeah, I like Rush. I used to always wonder, Mike, you never know what they look like. And then you watch them, you're like, oh, because they didn't look that great and they didn't want to, you know. That one guy he looks the same age as he did when he was in the 70s. It's kind of strange how that is, you know. Um, but yeah, Neil Peart, his drumming, him and John Bonham, just yeah. I just figured, someone that does vintage clothing that needs replacements. But if you're buying replacements, how many do you need at a time? 100, really? So are you going on to buy it like that? I don't know. I just try. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, we'll see. I'll play with it. They're easy to store. $10. Might as well. Something our community might need to know about. It's like my buddy that lived in Japan for a long time. And what he does, he like has a distributor that lives in Japan. So he just sends boxes to Japan. And because he lives in North Missouri, he buys up all this vintage 80s, 70s stuff and just sends them big boxes of it. He gets tons of money. But he was saying that vintage shoelaces. So he just gets the shoelaces and sends them shoelaces because the shoelaces are so much different back then, I guess. They don't make them anything like that. And so that's like the big new thing is vintage shoelaces in Japan. Just so you know. That was been about 2 months ago. But oh, thanks, Jennifer. Yeah. That's like everybody's like, you're almost 1,000 subscribers. I'm like, 10,000. That means I've probably done something. But 1,000, there's a lot of people that really are terrible on here that have 1,000. So I don't see that as being some, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's nice, but anymore to do this, you got to want to do it a little bit, or else it really becomes a grind. I could be doing a million other things, like because I'm so good at so many things. Like I barely even play golf anymore, and that was like one of my best attributes, I guess. I'm a really good golfer. I miss it, but there's no one to play golf with, so it's different. But thanks. I appreciate everything you do for me, Jennifer. I really do. Thanks, Todd. Thanks for swinging by. People look for Bakelite buttons. Ooh, what's that? Bakelite. Because there's some weird ones in there, and I'm just kind of sorting the weird ones away and then keeping the other ones. Yeah, I don't know. Um, I love new information. That's why I love Brian's Mr. Bicelot's auctions. I mean, seriously, I just sit there and listen to them talk because it's funny. All the sexual innuendos, it reminds me of being a bartender. It's just constant sexual innuendo. It's kind of to keep the sexual tension down, is to have sexual innuendo. But you learn so much. I mean, I found out so many things just by listening. I may not buy anything for the whole 4 hours, and that's what I love about our community is just finding some cool info. But I didn't want to, that sounded bad, Jennifer, I guess. I come off bad sometimes, but I appreciate you sharing me because if people want to listen to someone play guitar and talk reselling, I want them to. So, I mean, I want people to come here for sure. I've just gotten to the point where I don't want to stress about it. I've learned that a long time ago. You see a lot of people, they want to get to 1,000. When they get to 1,000, they stop. They don't care anymore. They thought it was going to be some, life-changing, altering thing, you could tell that they just didn't really want to do. They just were hoping. There's a lot of people out there and I understand. I understand. If I get to 10,000K, that means that's a small town that follows me. Yeah, I have 1,000 people on Facebook, whatever, uh, I like now that people come in my videos and they're like, that was fun. I like your attitude. I like the way you do things. That's what I want to hear. If I found out some good information I didn't know about, that's what I want to hear. When I go to a garage sale now, I know which John Deere hat. And instead of looking at it and going, that could be a vintage one, I don't know. Because like if you know Shernock, you know that you can take those bands out and put a K brand hat a band in there and make it look like it's freaking 1970s vintage and charge someone $50. So you better know some of the things. And that's what I liked. Just like learning from Commonwealth Picker, like what else I could pick up when I go to a garage sale. I want certain things like this. And then if they tell me their price of 25 and I want to spend 15, I'd be like, well, if you throw in this and this and this, I'll do 25 because Commonwealth Picker told me those things sell. I don't really want to buy it and sell it, but I know I can to get the stuff I want. You know what I mean? And so I think that's one of the things I've learned from and how to part out things. That was huge. I started learning how to do gaming systems by just parting out the controllers, get it from, back when you could get them at Goodwill for $30. You could part out two controllers and the console and the other thing else separate. You can make really good money on it. I have 1,000 agree. Yeah, you know what I mean. If your goal is to get to 1,000, then that's not a very good goal. Your goal should be providing good information for people, or else what are you doing on this thing? And I think that's where everybody gets the real funny ones. The guys that like, I remember when someone specifically like, "Man, I'm at 850. Come on, guys, get behind me, share this out." And then by the end of the day, he had like 1,400. I'm like, "There's no way he got." No way he got 600 subscribers. He must have bought them or something. And you can see that channel has never grown because they did it wrong. I don't want. I'm not going to try to trick people into watching me or anything. You know what I mean? Type of plastic. Okay, Bakelite. Hey, what's up, brother? I got a package going out to you Monday. Um, do you collect any Houston? Man, I'm so to be a Houston, Texas fan. Sorry to go off on subject a little bit. What the? Like, I feel bad for you guys. It was hard to be a Chiefs fan for so long, but what? Trade away DeAndre Hopkins. You can't keep Deshaun Watson happy. JJ, I mean, I feel bad for you guys. Is there anything you collect? Is there anyone you collect, like a card or anything? Because I have so many. I thought I might send you one. Just wondering. What up, Greg? I'm going through my stuff right now. I'm going to list some of that today. Thanks. And some of that will go in my booth. I think it actually might sell better in my booth. Some of it. Yeah. Yeah. I was that person that went into Pusa Studios when I first started doing it. I didn't know. I just, and I think we all don't know. It's just good to know and don't beat on people that don't know either. I'm just glad there's not a lot of those things out there anymore, because it's ruining people's channels and they wonder why they're not growing. And those people should know, they know that. And that's what sucks is those people were doing that. And they knew they were, and they go in there and it made me, I thought, well, they're talking about people's channel art. I'm learning some things. And that was a good fake, just to get you to think they're like serious. Hank. I appreciate everybody for joining. I was hoping Harry might be here. He's probably out chasing down some freaking. That guy finds everything on Facebook. I don't know how. What are you doing, Tank? Lurking. Yeah, I need to get to listing here. That's why this is my break before I start listing like a madman. I've got some good hats. I need to list too. 15 of them. I was going to ask you, Tank. Do you when you list your hats? Do you put it? If I remember, I thought you put them in a box and then you categorize them. I was just wondering. I can't remember how you did that. I was thinking you pre-packed them and then. Anyway. Yeah, dude, that's. I mean, they had a good thing. It's hard to find a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. You have one, you trade his best receiver for a unproven okay running back. Somehow Carson Wentz still got draft picks, but they couldn't get anything for DeAndre Hopkins. What? Arizona. God, they got off. They should be thanking their lucky stars. What up, Heidi? How you doing? Who's hammering? Yeah, sorry. There. It's one of those things, there's so much money wasted. It just doesn't make sense. And you see businesses do it all the time, and they're just using it for a tax write-off. My apartment complexes, like, there's one band around each apartment, and it was a beige color that was little bit lighter color than the regular siding. Well, they put in some new ones, and they have a darker one. So they went and put in the darker thing around the whole. This has been a process for the last 4 months, and it's just to make it look a little bit cosmetically different. I'm like, you guys are spending like 10 grand. You'd have to paying someone 4 months to be. I don't know. Just so much wasted money, and then all it is annoying to us, making a bunch of loud noises and shit. Chat's fine. I appreciate everybody for jumping in. Take pictures. Number access 10 hours and years. Use the custom SKU. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm starting to get in that place where I'm like, okay, I have more than 50 listed. I need to figure out because I just have them in like a big, nice box where it fits everything. Yeah, when you scale up, boy, that's why you have to scale up slow too. Is like you got to have everything. That's why I'm glad I could scale up baseball cards because it's just kind of keeping them in the right years, and because I find that keeping them in the right years is the best way. I'm sorry about this hammering. Really, the one time. Well, it's a nice day. It's one of the few nice days. Good Lord. I don't know if I could take that. I apologize. I'll see if they quit. Give it a second. Yeah. Why? Why would you do this to me? I'm listing a bunch of video games in my booth. I can just got this tag. Got a new one. I dropped my old one and it broke. These are only $18 at Walmart. They are awesome. Because the replacement, 2 of these are $5 and they last quite a while compared to the other ones. Brother and Zebra and all them. The refills are freaking ridiculous. So, and this has a place for just batteries. Some of them have like a recharger. It's like you have to charge the battery and all this crap. So this is pretty nice. Because I could easily take this to the booth, and so when I take it to the booth, then I can mark everything on sale real quick. But I have a nice. I mean, I kind of like to set up my booths kind of like Goodwill. Like I have a bunch of video games, some like I have a bunch of where'd I put them? Anyway, a bunch of series. So I have like series 1 and 2, and I'll put them beside each other and charge quite a bit. But I have them in a glass case, so people don't steal them. People will. People are so terrible. They'll come in and grab a Wii game, take it out, a $5 game. You can't even sell it on eBay. $5 game and take it out and put it back, and I don't know, put it down their pants or something or in their purse. Like, really? $5 game. Okay. Working on cards today myself. Yeah, I mean, what do you look? What are you working on? Of course, autographs sell quick, and that's the one thing about eBay that's kind of hard is there's so many autographs out there that it drives down the prices of the normal cards because you can go on and buy an autograph for $20. Why are you going to buy a numbered card for 10? Because that autograph is numbered too, So it's difficult, but it's easy to comp. I love how eBay, all you have to do is go into your eBay app and just speak in there, Patrick Mahomes rookie autograph, and boom, and it'll show you all the comps going to solds, and you know how you're not going to get screwed. And because you don't want to put it up. The worst thing is when you put something up and it sells in like 10 seconds, and you're like, oh crap, you know. Um, but that's why I like to set things somewhat high and then move it down as I feel. But you got to be careful of that, because your best customers are the ones that hit you right at the beginning. Because there's a lot of people that set, alerts for Patrick Mahomes, and your best customers is going to, that's he has that alert for a reason. So he's really your best customer. So you got to be careful of that too. Um, but yeah, I like to kind of set a high. This is a good one. I had a huge sale yesterday. I have bought a bunch of Albert Pujols cards back in the day. Well, he's ending his career. He's got so many. His numbers are insane, and he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. So people are looking at him now like, oh, I need to buy up his stuff. Well, I have a lot. This one girl bought two things for me last weekend that equaled like $350. She didn't say anything. I just gave her a little discount on the shipping, and then I remember that name. And this week she went in, sent me two offers on cards, and I texted her and I said, I'll take one of these offers, but I'll take one to start with, but I can't give you a huge discount on all the rest of them. Um, and and what was interesting was last weekend when she bought that stuff, she bought two. And I had two other sales at Albert Pool. So what I knew was he's getting hot. So I took everything down and raised everything up 25% at least. So when she came back, she was buying stuff that I had cheaper last weekend. But because of her, I jacked them up. When she came back, I was giving her discounts, but it was actually still above what she could have bought them for last weekend, if that makes sense. And so I gave her a bunch, all but one card she bought that I sent to her, and it was a $250 card. So I understand, but she spent $1,000 in Pools cards on 8 cards, and that was a good sale. So I think it was like $950, something like that. Um, and that's another thing. I love having similar items. I get so many people that come through and buy so many things, and I always put up there free, combined shipping on multiple purchases, and people notice that. And if, especially with collectibles, if they're already liking something, they, it's just good to, have a lot of the similar things, and it's been really nice for me. They need a nail gun, yeah. Sorry, I think they're gone now. At least stopped hammering. That's great. I've we've had some, yeah. There was an ice storm here in 2007, and it was 2.5 weeks of people without electricity. It was awful. At my bar, people would just come up and hang out for hours. You had these doctors and people that were loaded come in and buy a $15 meal between them and the wife, and they would sit there for 4 or 5 hours and then tip me like $4. I'm like, it was awful. It was so bad. But I mean, you understood. You didn't want to kick them out, but it was like, really, if you're gonna stay all day, could you not tip me at least 10? Like, and I mean, if they would have got up, I would have made 35 or 40 off that seat. But instead, I made four, or actually two, because they split it between two people. Hey, how's it going, Michelle? Yeah, but I don't get mad about it because I usually have pennies into it. But it's just kind of like, really, you mess with your own energy, your own karma, your own way you think of yourself for a $5 game. Like, you're messing with your own. People don't understand that. Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to people like stealing. They didn't need it, they didn't want it, they didn't even like the games. People just like the thrill of something, and people don't realize you get that connectivity in your brain, and that's what makes you happy. You can't. You have to. It's hard to stop that. The matrix is real, but we create our own matrix. In my opinion, getting talking philosophy here. Yeah, on those, if it's not rookie, you guys look for rookies, Hall of Fame. If it's rookies or Hall of Fame, they're worth something. Someone collects them. Um, I mean, not all rookies, but if it's a Hall of Famer or if it's a name you've heard of and it's a rookie, usually you're good to go. Other than that, I lot them up, and because some people buy cards to fulfill their complete sets, and you'll if you look, it'll say break, and um, so a lot of people put up 70s and 80s cards because people are still trying to collect the set, even if they're rough around the edges. So, you know, when I don't know anything about a subject, you know what I do? I baseball cards sold. See what's selling right now. See what's the hottest, and you'd be surprised. You know, that's like when Tom Brady won. I put up every Tom Brady card I had. Everybody else that's not a card dealer would hold them and be like, "I got something precious." That's not what you do. You know, sell it when it's hot. Um, if you unless you don't trust yourself to find 30 more Patrick Brady or Tom Brady cards this summer in garage sales, and that's something I've learned. You got to let go of some things, or else you got to let go of things, or else those big things won't come to you because you're still focused on what you have. You know what I mean? And I used to be so bad about that. I was a collector. I was a hoarder of collectibles like stuff, and now it's more of turn and burn. Now it's a hard. I have a hard time trying. I've kind of I've kind of caught myself wanting to like something, and I can't do it anymore. I'm like, yeah, someone else will like this more than I will, even though it's like Reggie Jackson autograph. When I was a kid, I think it's that. I'm fighting myself as a kid. That kid that lived out in the country, that loved baseball, that never could see a game because we lived in the country. You didn't have ESPN. If he had a Reggie Jackson autograph in his hand, he would have been like, "What the And so I think I'm trying to get over my own self now, that little kid that still wants it. And then so I've gotten better at that, if that makes any sense. Willie Mays, yeah, that's worth something. Unless it's that reprint stuff from 86 and 87, which a lot of people don't understand. T knows you get a lot of those reprints, and you got to be careful because if you don't know anything about it, people see something like a Bob Gibson rookie but it's a reprint from 2018. It's worth $1.50. So yeah, you got to be careful on that. But if it's a regular Willie Mays at the bottom, it says 68 tops or something. Put that thing in a sleeve, put it in your bank, leave it. Don't sell it. I got a Willie Mays autograph. Never sell it. That'll go to my nephews when I'm gone. I have a rule. It's like Hall of Famers. I mean, it may sound morbid, but they can't sign anymore. A lot of them are gone. You know, so there's just going to be less and less autographs. People like me hoard them up. There's just not anything out there after a while. So, um, like what everybody's, you got like Anthony Pittsburgh and Nate. They're really understanding how to do cards and stuff. But while everybody else is chasing the new guys, they're not focused on the Dan Marinos and the guys that's already done it. That all they're going to do is go up in value, but they're not going up in value because everybody's spending their money in these new guys, just hoping for a new Patrick Mahomes or hoping for the new Jordan. That boy, that you hoping for that stuff, that good luck. What was it? Jordan wasn't the number one pick. He was number two. Someone out there didn't think that he was going to be the way he was even back then. So you just guessing that stuff is dangerous. Be careful about how much money you're throwing into that stuff. In my opinion, I always worry that I didn't say the right things, that I may have made people think something that came across wrong, and I didn't want people to. I was trying to show people how to sell it when it's hot. And there's some cards I probably shouldn't have sold, but at the time, you never know how it's going to go. Patrick Mahomes got hit. He didn't look very good after he's been hit and he had that concussion. It so quickly can change to being just above average quarterback. And that's a big difference on what a card's worth. So if you're wrapping up all your retirement money in cards, you got to be careful. Even though I'd rather invest in cards than stock can go down to zero. 70 in Dallas. Dan, what up, Dan? Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, it's their only dopamine hit. It sucks. It sucks when you're stuck in that loop, you know? It's like people don't understand, like running. I love running. It has nothing to do with the body. It has nothing to do with me wanting to live longer or be stronger. It is such a drug and it's such a cleanser. I think so much better when I run. I don't know if I could do all the things I do if I didn't run. So it has nothing to do with, and that's what I wish people understood more about, and they might want to do it more. It has nothing to do with the physical body. Is just a nice benefit to me, which I have a problem with pushing too hard and I hurt myself. And so I have to pay more attention to my body because I'm really good at pushing through pain, which is not a good thing, honestly. It takes a long time to heal. I about tore my Achilles tendon last summer, which would put me out of my business. So you didn't miss anything. I'm just chatting, talking to myself. Yeah, that's what it was. Sambo. Hakeem Olajuwon, though, that is my big guy. His that'll be this is one of my bolos. Go buy your Hakeem Olajuwons right now. You can buy that stuff fairly cheap. you, you know, La Mello and all these guys, they haven't proven anything. And so if you're gonna invest in something, go invest in that because everybody's spending their money on the new things. I love Hakeem. Look up the YouTube of the only person to scare Jordan. Look that one up, and you'll understand. Yeah, Sam Bowie. I knew it was somebody. Uh, What's like LeBron? A lot of people said that when they picked LeBron, they should have picked Darko Milicic. And that guy. And was it Carmelo? Was number 3? I forget. Tell me, Dan. Look that up. Is T having an auction? Are you having an auction today? Hakeem the Dream, man. I love Hakeem. I've got it. I've got some. I collect every card I get of him. When I get him in, I just keep him. I just got a second year card. I think. I was looking at some rookies today. They're selling for like 50, $60, ungraded, and I saw a couple that looked gradable. So I mean, look, people are going to spend hundreds on a Zion rookie when the guy can't even stay healthy in his first year. Like, okay, So that's what I wanted to make sure everybody didn't just put everything on to the new stuff. I get it, but yeah, I mean, Hakeem the Dream. You're not talking to yourself. Yeah, I know. It's just weird when you're talking to my poor my dogs are like, hey, he's gonna do that thing again. Weirdo. Okay. I shouldn't talk about sports all the time. I just, I was good at it when I was a kid, so I guess it was just easy for me. Excellent. I like that scarf you wore in your hair that day. Cut your face out a little bit better. I liked it. Looked good. Those scarves are a big hit. Howdy, ma'am. I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk about. Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was. Yeah, what a lineup there. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. I looked up Darko's um, stats the other day. They weren't as bad as I thought. He played for like 9 years, and he had a couple years where he didn't do too bad. I didn't remember him doing anything. He was just so overshadowed. Um, I got 2 boxes back in 2003. I bought 2 boxes of Bowman. I got 2 LeBrons, two. They were both regular, not chrome. And I got 2 Carmelos. I didn't get any Dwayne Wades, and at the time, I wanted Dwayne Wade because he beat my Missouri Tigers in the Final Four like I mean, it was one of the last times their team was good. Dwayne Wade just simply destroyed us by himself. It was. I just remember thinking, he looks like Jordan, like except he's not as fast and he doesn't jump as much, but he looks so much like him. And I guess I was right. Yeah, I don't remember that. It's probably small town stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess we're all just we watched ESPN enough to kind of know who is worth it, you know. But it's the same way with me. I have a bunch of hockey cards and soccer cards. I don't know. I have to look them all up, and that's why it's easy for me with baseball and football. I already know what's good. And that's why it's easier to stick to what I know, you know. And I think that's one thing I don't like about our community is too many people try things they shouldn't try. They should stick to their lanes as much as possible and sell it when they can, but don't go looking for it because I've caught myself doing that stuff. And you know what resellers don't tell you is, yeah, it's sold for $50 and you bought it for five. How long did it take? You know, it could have taken a year, but they tell you like it's a bolo you should go buy tomorrow. Well, if you're a new reseller, you need that $5 back. You don't want it sitting in something that may take 2 years because if it takes a year, they may have got lucky, you know. So, uh, I try to talk about how how long it's been there, and I try to and do a show for beginners. That's a good idea. Um, I do take for granted sometimes the stuff I do know. And that's like I even hear pirates talking about Panini and this and that. Panini is just a name like Tops or Donruss. Panini was Donruss before, and they bought out the name. There's a lot of shitty Panini products, but the best ones happen to be Panini too. So they get this range of people thinking that they're just great because there's a Panini. But when it comes to Panini, Prism is what you want to hear because the best versions inside of each version is Prism. Um, anyway, yeah, I agree. It's a good idea. I'm gonna make my video today of my garage my flea market sales because they were and then, I'm late. This was December, and I'm gonna do December, January, February, and they've been kicking ass. And so I'm gonna break it down to show everybody like how much I spent, how much I made, what was my rent, so how much I had to cover. Um, I like those videos. Those videos do good for me because not very many people are doing anything like that. And it's a good side thing for me because my booths are close enough to me. It's not that hard because one of the keys to the boost I realized is it's mainly the same people going back. So you have to at least move things around, bring in new stuff. You have to do that. Every time I do that, I get more sales. So I think some of those things I need to highlight in my video too, to kind of help people out. But that's a great idea too. I need to like the beginner's guide to just like the basics of what is a good card and why it's not. And like I remember when everybody's buying those um, blaster packs at Walmart. Those don't have very good cards in it. That's why they're at Walmart, and that's why they're $20. But a lot of people didn't know that. So the way to make money was to buy those packs and then sell those packs right on eBay for $80, 20 to 80, 20 to 80. But people were buying them and opening and trying to get something good. You weren't going to do that. So that's something I wanted to make sure people knew about. So next time, I mean, you might find some good ones, but it's going to be a lot harder. You might as well do some breaks for a hobby box that has guaranteed memorabilia and autographs in it. But the blaster ones are just not very guaranteed. If they are guaranteed, it's like a memorabilia card most of the time, and it's something not numbered, not worth that much. Um, so yeah, it's a good idea. I have a yeah. I just wish I had more time. I think we all do. I just like too many things, and I can't focus on one. It's like being a reseller. You have to resell, but it's hard to make videos because you're always reselling. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I did the same thing too. I still have freaking 10 VCRs over there that I need to test. And then you start breaking everything down, and when you start recognizing, you got to know what you like to sell. I love video games, but honestly, they're a pain in the butt. You gotta test them. You gotta clean them. Um, that always takes a little time. You wait about 4 hours before you start even taking pictures of them. If you have 20, games. So that's what I like about sports cards. Done. I already know how to list it. Done. I can knock out 30 listings in 2 hours. So and they store so easy. So for me, that's the easiest way. But everybody needs to find their own thing. Like jewelry, I think would be a great. I wish I knew more about jewelry. I wish I knew more about like I don't know what you guys do, but I like following like the silver stackers. Buying up all this 925 and melting it down, making their own bars out of it, making like these cool like emblems, their own like logos and stuff. That's cool. I want to do some of that stuff. I want to know more about that. I think that's fun. So but I agree. We all need to stick to our lanes at 75% and just diverge only because you have to. Like I was saying earlier, it's like I'm not going to pick up an ab roller, go looking for it out there. But if it's at a garage sale and I see that purple ab roller that Commonwealth told me to buy, well, I'm going to buy it. But I'm not going to go out searching for them. And that's what I used to do when I would that new trend, like you said, Funko Pops. How many people went and bought a ton of Funko Pops because of RVA Flips Justin's that one time when he bought $1,000 worth or whatever it was, you know. But it's also good to sell lots of different things because then you know how to. Because you don't know if you like selling it until you do too. So it's good to try, but too many people put too much into one thing. I don't think so. Don't feel that way, Emily. I don't. Um, like I said, stick to what you're making your money. The worst thing you do is derail yourself and thinking you can make more somewhere else. And I think that's something we all need to learn. It's good to know. I think the best thing about our community is not the bolos. It's how to not make mistakes, how to ship. It's the processes of reselling, not the bolos. But that's what gets people to watch that doesn't resell. So that's what I think the thing that's missing. You got like Harry Tornado and some of these guys that are kind of they're so big they have to reach out to the non-resellers. I'm just trying to get to the resellers. So it's that's what I've kind of recognized over time too. And that's why they're kind of running with things a little different than I am. Yeah. There's a lot of collectors. I have a collector that they didn't get their video games. It's the only thing that didn't get to where it's supposed to be. And it left February 15th. All my stuff during Christmas was fine. This just never got to him. And she was been so cool. I wanted to give her money like 3 days ago. And she's like, let's just see the weekend because she's a collector. She's just hoping these two Wario Wii games get to her. And so as you find, there's just a lot of collectors out there that collect everything. There's so many hoarders out there, and I'm just glad I'm not the hoarder anymore. And I'm wholesaling out to the hoarders. And then now it's become fun to see like where it goes, and I think it's fun to like most of the stuff doesn't mean that much to me anymore. So I'd rather send it to someone where it means something to them because people are buying emotions, people are buying feelings. If you don't recognize that, then you're probably losing out on some of the ways to you gotta list it and describe stuff right too. I don't spend a lot of times doing that because you get good at it, knowing. But you know, I still want the Millennium Falcon that I didn't get back in the '80s. And I think there's a lot of people out there when they get money, they go buy it. Uh, I just sold $100 video game that I didn't know was worth anything. I was confident. And I'm like, 80? It's going for $80 like in auctions. and I just bought it for like $1. And I bought it for, I think I got 5 or 6 games. I have to actually look. I can't remember where I got. I never pay more than $2 for a video game. And if I remember, I got in a big bunch of. It may have almost been free because I got in a console with a console bundle that had like 6 or 7 games. Um, but there's been a few things like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. You just don't know until you start investigating, and that's what's fun. It's like you got treasure hunts inside of your own. There's been times where I've opened up boxes of baseball cards that I've gotten break, and I'm like, Fernando Tatis? Whoa. So yeah, I there's some things, but also too, when you get good at this, you list real quick. So you find out pretty fast. You don't want to have things, you don't buy things and then let it sit there. That's when you have a spending problem, not a reselling problem. Um, like people watch me in auctions. If you watch auctions long enough, you see me in them. You know that I'm buying like certain things and it's certain things only. And because I know how fast they sell. They might everything sells for better money, but how long is it going to sit there? That's why I don't like clothes. You have to find the right person that fits exactly. You know, the, you know, someone goes looking for a Pujols card, they look for a Pujols card, and they don't have to like fit them and worry about them getting sent back to them. I've had zero, knock on wood, zero returns on sports cards. That's one of my easy to list, easy to store. I've never had a return, very few returns, but I describe it right. And when you put near mint to mint in the description, what are they going to do? They're going to tell you that it was near mint, and you're going to say, yeah, it was in the description. If they send it back, I just put it up for more money, just like I do everything else when they send it back. And everybody whines about returns, but I mean, every time I raise the price by $5 and usually get the shipping back. So I don't even know what the big deal is. Like it does waste a little time sometimes, but that's normal business. If you can't grit through that, you're not going to be very good at reselling. I've got two Sega Genesis. I've had a lot of NES, and the Super Nintendo goes for more money than the original NES. Um, the original Atari, if I remember right, really doesn't go for much money because they put out another Atari, and the games just weren't that good. But people love Nintendo. People love Mario. If it's Mario, you might want to buy it. I That's pretty much across the board. Mario. I like to sell Wii. GameCube seems to sell faster than any other gaming. PS4 and PS3s even. Um, I think people are collecting Nintendo and Wii, or Nintendo and Mario. So if you, Nintendo and Mario, a GameCube is awesome. I'm going to list a GameCube up today. I got all these. I got a lot from Guapo, and in the lot of like 20 games, there was 6 GameCubes. These are all go for over $10, and I bought the whole lot for like 30. But one of these games, I bet would be 30. So I mean, and that's how I would see it. I see like, if you've seen Old School Flips, his video this morning, that's how I do it too. You see like 2 or 3 things that'll get your money back, and then all the rest is bonus. It's easy to get it, especially with video games, especially GameCube. These sell fast. People are waiting. People have GameCube on on alert, so that when anytime GameCube comes out, they see it. Uh, you wouldn't believe that Patrick Mahomes. Whenever I'd list Patrick Mahomes, there'd be like 30 views in the first 5 minutes. I'm sure everybody's seen that. Some people have too much money, or they just don't care about it, and they wonder they don't never have any money. Well, yeah, it's really rare, and that's why I think it goes for a lot of money. I think that's a kind of a I think it's a unicorn for a lot of people. If I remember right, Lonnie from Shred Flips has always talked about has even talked about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Michelin? No. This is one of my kept. I liked it. When I was a kid, I wanted to be on the space shuttle. I thought it'd be cool. I wanted to play baseball and I wanted to fly to the moon. I had dreams. My baseball career, I was well above average than most of the people, and I didn't grow like everybody else. But my problem was I had a really good eyesight, and where I lived, 15 was the last year that you played baseball, and we didn't have it in high school for some reason. We had wrestling, um, and so by the time I ended my career, I had to go on to do like American Legion to keep going with my career. Well, I slowly, everybody kind of caught me, you know, I was so much better than everybody, then everybody just slowly caught me. And when I turned 16, I went and got my license and they told me like, well, you didn't pass, you can't see. And I'm like, what? So I went to the doctor. My eyesight was terrible. And then I realized like, oh, because when I was 12, I had better than 20/20 vision. I was like 10 or I was 10 or 12, something like that. I was 10. And so I had better than 20/20 vision. By the time I was 16, my vision was terrible. And so I didn't know it, but I couldn't see the ball. My vision slowly got so much worse. And I got to where I couldn't see the ball as good as had always seen it. And so I didn't hit as good as had hit. And when you're digressing that way, it's hard to build where you're supposed to, and that's when you're supposed to progress. And so, you know, it's just what happens, you know. I didn't back then, you didn't think about that as we barely had enough money to get to the games and back with gas. Yeah, I like watching his he has got good information. So, mm, no, yeah, yeah. I love the scrambled eggs. I was looking at a football card the other day, and it was somebody from the '80s, and he had this awesome scrambled egg, black hat, and it has like star and a patch on it. I was like, dang, that's cool. I bet that hat's worth some money now because it was back in like the late '70s. It was a good player too. I've got some cool ephemera that I got from Kathy KK, and it's like Boy Scout, um, like the Boy Scout book, the Weeblo book from like the '30s, and some cool stuff. I got a thing from Who's Tom Cruise. It was JFK, the day after JFK died, I think it was, and it was like a San Diego or some paper in California. And then he had a bunch of newspapers from the 1800s. I thought was kind of neat. I don't know how. I just kept them, and I don't know what to do with. I don't know how to list them. So um, I'll look into that eventually. I've got so many records I'm gonna be putting up soon. I can't wait. I've got thousands of 45s and so many duplicates of good ones that are clean. They're gonna sell fast. And I've got all my boxes ready to go. Just need to um, test a bunch of them. Yeah, a lot of that stuff sells well, especially old automobile, like uh, the what do you call it? The manuals. The manuals for some of those old automobiles go for a ton of money, um, but they go for a ton of money because there's not very many out there. So, what's up, Craig? How's it going, Jim? I got some cool hats here. was gonna put up. One thing I've learned about hats is like people like the color, because people are buying them are kids. They want to stand out. But I thought this was a cool one. Willig freight lines, stuff like that sells. Let me see. Moors. That's made in China, so it's not vintage, but it looks like it. And sometimes I find that too is people like the vintage ones mainly for the look. They don't really care. They're not going around going, "Hey, this is vintage." Not everybody. People are just buying hats. This is a cool one because I like the stripe on the Fontanelli. Who knows what that is? But that's made in USA. Style Master. Made in Union, Missouri. Wow. That's interesting. Union, Missouri? I don't even know where the hell that is. I live in Missouri. Just a Ford hat. It's probably not worth anything. Unless you lived in Turnpike and you happen to see it. It's kind of a neat one. 87 World Series champions. I remember the Cardinals lost that one to the Twins. Someone wants this one because someone went to that game or loved that team. This is a cool one. I looked up the symbol one time. I can't remember who it was, but I thought that one's neat. It's kind of got that painter's hat look to it. It's got all the stuff in it, though. I'm going to have to knock out. That's easy. People always do that. Oh, but they got the foam in there. Like, people are so defeated so easy. It's sad. This came in a lot. Not all men are fools. Some are bachelors. Wiser excavating. I like that one though. The moving team, Muth Brothers. Lots of color, cool patch. Main USA. The uniform people. I like listening hats. They're so easy to store and they're so easy to ship out. All you have to do is make sure you have some boxes. And I learned from Cernock that you gotta get the 10 by 8 by 6. That the 10 gives you room for that flat bill for the trucker hat, so it can lay down there nice and easy. And it's not much more. The only thing is I do the supply hut, and after you put the paper in, I have to cut the inside flaps back to make it 8 ounces to save that extra 40 cents. But hey, why not? 40 cents, 40 cents over time, right? But I love supply huts because I like sometimes you don't want the box to be super strong and thick and heavy. You want it to be just not getting smashed or in water. Well, there is no Dan Marino rookie autographs. That's not a thing unless he signed it separately on top of it. And I don't know. Usual rookie, yeah, that'll be 2,200 for sure. The Marino, if it was graded, it's probably 1,300. I don't know. Who graded it. Was it yeah, there's no Dan Marino. They didn't make autographs back when Dan Marino was playing. They didn't do that. The other day, someone told me that their son had went through their collection and found a bunch of Michael Jordan rookies. I'm like, sure, Michael Jordan rookies, like they're just laying around the house. Yeah, they're worth a couple $100,000 a piece. I think I might want to sell. What up, Kent? Yeah, let's look up. What is 86 Fleer Jordan rookie? 86 Fleer Jordan rookie. Let's see how much it's selling for right now. If you just buy the 10-year anniversary 86 Jordan, you can buy those in bulk and grade them, and they sell it for $300. There's lots of ways to make money in cards. Just got to be, let's see, reprint. Brand new rookie, $1,400, Jordan, ungraded. Graded one goes for about 20. And that's at 7. So a 10 is going to grade out. It's going to be $100,000 easy. Let's see. Probably none sold recently. The only ones probably selling for that are probably at actually auction houses because they'll go for more money. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, this just has a few 86 Fleer rookies hanging around. Steinbrenner. It's probably the auction house. Like I said, if you had a Marino autograph, or if you had a Marino rookie, and then you had him grade it, and then you had it JSA made sure that it was actually his autograph, and then you graded it, and it graded out to a 10, yeah, it'd be worth a lot of money. But there's just, it wasn't the manufacturers just didn't do autographs back in the 70s and 80s. They didn't even start doing that till they didn't really start doing autographs till like 95 or so. That's a good one to look up because I remember 1990 Upper Deck, there was a chance for a Reggie Jackson autograph. I never ever saw one of those, by the way, but there was a chance for one. And that was the only time I remember being autographs. Before that, there was just none. So they realized after 87, when they put out 7 million versions of the same thing, that they watered down their own product and actually killed themselves. And so they had to do something different. So that's when they started doing autographs. Ooh, something sold on eBay. Oh, best offer. I leave all offers on because I like to have activity. Some people hate that. And I don't get mad about it. So some people be like, oh, it takes up headspace or it gets me frustrated when I shouldn't. That's on you. I don't get mad. Someone today had 35. I thought I had $35 Snap-on hat. That's cool, and they sent a $5 offer. And usually, I always say thanks for the offer. Almost every time, $5 is just like decline. They put back 10, decline, 15, decline. That's the person I won't ever. I'm never going to take an offer from them because now I don't want them to have it. Because I just feel like that's the guy that's going to return it. Someone who does that mainly. And that was one of those times too where I don't always want something to sell. I had it setting at $24 and I had like 8 to 10 watchers on it for a while. And so I unlisted it, put it up for 35 and then put all offers. And I don't mind offers low. I offer low. You got to test it out. But when your first bid is 5 on a 35, and then I just decline. But I can't blame him for trying. Yeah, it wasted my time by just declining it. But I just declined and make them buy it for real, make them buy it full price. And a lot of times I've done that too, where people do that. They buy it full price. So. Whatever sells the fastest is whatever's going on at the time. It's pretty simple. This is a good time for sports because football just got done. You're gonna have the draft. You got baseball ramping up, and you got basketball in full swing and hockey in full swing. So this is one of the best times to put up all sports cards. January, February, all listings on eBay for sports cards are free. I don't know if it's all sports cards, but all the ones I was putting up, it was free listings. So I put up 1,000. Well, it's like 850, maybe 900. Anyway, um, just now they're ready to go and sitting there ready to. I have a bunch of baseball that once baseball's in full swing, and people are so, you know, they hear a name and then they go to eBay and look for that name and look for it. I mean, people are so predictable. It's sad. So since they're predictable, do what needs to be done. So I have all my baseball stuff up. So once it hits the first game of the year, everybody's gonna be buying all those rookies that I have up that haven't made the major leagues yet. And I'm just ahead of everybody a little bit. People are buying up all my pool stuff. I bought all the pool stuff a long time ago. I'm just think ahead a little bit before them and sell it when it's hot. And don't sell it until it gets hot, unless you really don't think it's going to. But that's why I only stick to certain people. You know, Pujols, LeBron James, Patrick Mahomes, um, Hall of Famers. I've done pretty good over the years by just sticking to like my gut on those. Hey, how's it going, Trish? DMB for life. Can't. And that's like something basketball blew up so big. It got too ridiculous. People started buying up soccer. People started buying up golf. And if you were buying up Tiger Woods the last couple months, you did pretty good because it looks like he may never play again. People are going to start buying up everything. Just the way it is. I mean, that's why I like sports cards because it's stock market. It's stock market inside of without having to, stock market. I know that everybody else doesn't know how to play very well, but in the real stock market, most people know how to play it better than the people in the sports card world. If that makes any sense. How's it going, Dave? I'm almost out of coffee. And that's another thing too. Like, I'm going to put out a video of like where I like to source. Like for me, the auctions are awesome for me because I know what I want to sell in my booths. So that's the advantage I have over all the people that only sell on eBay. Because like she offered a bulk lot of 50 CDs for $25 shipped to your door. And when they got here, they were all pretty good. And there was like 4 that were sealed. Well, I can take a couple of those sealed, put those on eBay, make all my money back, and then lot the rest of them. What I'm getting ready to do, I haven't done it yet, but I know it'll sell. 10 CDs together. I'm going to saran wrap them, $10 out the door. I guarantee, because I want to have I'm turning my antique booth into half antiques. The rest of them is going to be vintage media or just CDs media too, some newer media, but mainly like records. And so I'm going to make bulk lots. And I also do that with DVDs, big barn auctions. They're running a special because they get, what happens is they're trying to liquidate a huge storage unit. Well, you can tell we all do the same thing. These people do the same thing as what we do. They get into DVDs. They just keep buying DVDs. They don't stop, And so he bought a unit that had so many DVDs that he's just trying to liquidate them. So just a little bit of money is good. He was doing 80 DVDs for $40. And so for me, 50 cents a piece, I can sell them for $4, $3 to $4 in my booths. Heck yeah. And plus, like these, I can just lot 10 romantic comedies together for $10. Those will sell, and I'm still making 50 cents a piece on them. And I can get them out quick too if I put them in bulk like that. So, I mean, for me, and those things kind of, they pay the rent. And then I want them to buy the Patrick Mahomes card that I spent 10 cents on, and they're going to spend 40 or 50. That's where I'm going to make my money. And so I've learned you got to have, like Walmart, you got to have some things that are kind of a deal for them, even though you're still making money, but it's just mainly just paying for your rent to be there. And then you got to have the big hitters. And then you got to have some big hitters in there that you don't want to sell, that brings people in, that you kind of just want people to look at, kind of deal. So I kind of learned that over time that like so I that's why I like the auctions and but you also got to know your business model or you're buying a bunch of stuff for no reason. You know, it's like Pittsburgh. I bought a trash bag full of plush. I sold one of them and it made my money back. I don't even want to list the rest of them. Once you make your money back. What's up, Larry? I don't know what that means. I missed something here. Did I miss something? T's lurking in mine. That feels good. Well, I'm almost done with coffee. Might as well end it on a song, right? Thanks everybody for joining. Costco chickens. What? What's going on? Is that like the rotisserie chickens they have at Walmart? Anyway, thanks y'all for joining. I appreciate you for coming by. I'll see you in the chats and I'll see you in the auctions, I'm sure. So grind on, friends. Thanks for joining.